Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Michaels, and today I will be presenting on the use of augmentative and alternative communication, or AAC, for individuals who have sensory integration challenges. So first we will begin with explaining what is sensory processing and sensory integration. Then we'll discuss the AAC considerations for this population. Then we'll explore a case study of a student that I'm currently working with who uses AAC and has tactile sensory challenges. Finally, we'll conclude with a reflection question. So let's get started. So before we dive into all of that, I'd like to cover some key vocabulary. So first, sensory processing is the way our nervous system receives, interprets, and responds to sensory input from the environment and our bodies. Sensory integration refers to how effectively we use this information to interact with the world. Some individuals have sensory challenges that create a mismatch between their sensory experiences and their environment. For example, tactile defensiveness refers to discomfort to touch or textures, which is something that we'll see in the case study later. Finally, the SET framework stands for Student, Environment, Tasks, and Tools, and this is a structured way to guide AAC selection and implementation, which ensures that the student's sensory needs are considered throughout the AAC process. Here is a diagram of the different sensory processing areas. So why AAC is needed? Many individuals with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, experience sensory differences. Research suggests that anywhere from 40 to over 90% of individuals with ASD experience some form of sensory difficulty. These challenges can affect a student's ability to communicate effectively. For example, if a child is overwhelmed by touch or light, they may avoid using a communication device. This limits their ability to participate socially and academically. AAC provides the tools these individuals need to express themselves independently and ensures that sensory challenges do not prevent them from communicating, engaging with peers, or accessing their education. So, the competence framework is a framework that outlines four areas of communicative competence. These are linguistic, social, strategic, and operational, as well as psychosocial. So, linguistic competence involves having the language needed to express sensory needs. For example, a student might need to say, "The device is too bright," or "My hand hurts," to be able to self-advocate for their sensory needs. Social competence involves expressing needs within different social contexts. For example, asking a teacher or a parent for help to adjust their device. Strategic competence involves pre-programmed phrases or alternative methods of communication. For example, if the student is overwhelmed, they can have a pre-programmed phrase that says, "I need help." Finally, operational competence is important for students with tactile or visual sensitivities as they need to physically access the device. Adjustments like using a stylus, keyguard, or a button or switch can make a big difference in these students. So making sure to address all four of these areas ensure that AAC is accessible and usable despite potential sensory challenges. So operational considerations are critical for students with sensory challenges. For example, tactile defensiveness can make it difficult for a student to touch a tablet or press buttons. Using a stylus, like you can see in the picture here, a textured glove, or a key guard, like this picture over here, can support their access while giving them their own autonomy. Also adjusting device settings, such as their screen brightness, colors, or auditory feedback, can be adjusted to meet the individual's sensory needs. For example, lowering the brightness and using high contrast symbols can make it easier for a student with visual sensitivities to locate the buttons. So sensory challenges are not limited to just touch and vision. Here are some other senses and how they can be interacted with AAC. So for example, the vestibular, interoception, gustatory, and olfactory processing also can affect communication. For example, a student may feel dizzy or then need to move around, which involves their vestibular system. Additionally, interoceptive awareness, like hunger or needing to take a nap, requires vocabulary to express these sensory needs. So on our table, you can see that the sense that they may be feeling and then vocabulary that we can add to their device to be able to express these needs. For example, a student may feel dizzy and they would then have the vocabulary to be able to self-advocate for themselves. For all these types of senses, providing pre-programmed phases on an AAC device allows the student to communicate their needs independently. This also helps prevent frustration. So, when implementing AAC for students with sensory challenges, we use the SET framework. We start by understanding the student's needs, then consider the environment that they are in, the tasks that they must complete, and finally, the tools or devices that will help support them. Feedback is gathered through observation, caregiver interviews, and sometimes visuals to show I like this or I don't like this. Once a device is selected, we practice its use in multiple settings to ensure its consistency. Teaching these operational skills, such as adjusting volume, brightness, or using a stylus, is essential for independent use. And this graphic just helps kind of go more into the SET framework. So S is for the students or their strengths and their current performance and what their weakness is. E is for the environment. So how is the classroom arranged? What materials and equipment are used? How is instruction given? Things that might be crucial for the environment. T is for tasks. So what is the student expected to do? Which tasks are they most which tasks are most essential for them? And finally, T is for tools. And the IEP team will help consider which tool they may need. So a low or no tech device, mid-level tech device, or high tech device. So let's take a look about the case study of a student that I'm currently working with. The situation is the student is in fourth grade in a self-contained classroom at my school. She has autism and uses an AAC device but has tactile sensory challenges. Oftentimes, her device strap gets caught in her ponytail or on top of her head, which can cause frustration. When this happens, she then refuses to wear the device. So her tactile defensiveness limits her operational competence, which results in her struggling to access the device and then use it. So our goal is to identify strategies to support consistent AAC use while respecting her sensory sensitivities. So in order to support this student, we recommend several strategies. First, an alternate mounting option. So rather than a strap that goes around her neck, potentially a desk clip or a waist mount. So that way she can avoid the strap catching her hair. Also, using a stylus would allow her to make selections without direct tactile contact with the device. Pre-programmed phrases like "I don't like this" or "help me" may provide a way to express her needs when she is frustrated. Finally, collaboration between the OT and SLP is critical to provide support for both sensory regulation and operational skills. Practicing device use across environments such as the classroom, therapy room, and at home will help build consistency and independent use. So my reflection question that I asked is, which competence area is most impacted by sensory processing, and what can we do to address this? And the answer is operational. And I would adjust the settings, use a stylus, and add pre-programmed phrases. So I thought that this reflection question helps us think about practical ways to support AAC users with sensory challenges. To summarize, sensory processing challenges can significantly impact AAC access. Addressing operational, linguistic, social, and strategic competencies is essential. Collaboration between therapists, teachers, and families, combined with the trial and implementation and customization, ensures that students can communicate effectively and express their needs and wants to support their independency and self-advocacy. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me? And finally, these are my references.